Here's the point, guys. If we think we're working hard, we are. No matter how much you're doing. You could be doing nothing. But if you think you're working hard and you convince yourself that it's hard work, all right, guys.
You guys want to blow up your back? Saw I blow my back up. You want a mass building back workout? Try this. You want bulging lats? You want Tyrannosaurus traps? You guys want lats like Dorian Yates with half the work and half fucking genetics? You want to figure out how to not work hard, get big? You want this is the shortcut channel.
Just keeping in line with like the latest breakthroughs in exercise and recovery. You know, we have such wonderful things like cold plunges that, you know, basically don't do jack shit. And people spend their hard-earned money on that every day to jump in a cold tub of water that someone else paid $5,000 for. And they got to recoup their money, so they got to convince you that it's worth the money to jump in their tub. And anyway, so, you know, we're going to keep on the theme. Like, I'm trying to always reinvent and like come up with new methods for like building muscle. And I've come up with a few that I think are like dead on. So I'm going to show you the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do mental reps. So all you have to do for this, like, forget all this hard work shit. Forget all this sweating, fucking weight going up, weight going down. I can do that all in my head. Just like I can imagine that a cold plunge is doing something in my head. So if I just hold on to this weight, this will be a set. Ready? Go. The last two reps are hard as shit. I don't know if you caught that. A little bit of strain. Cause I was like, you know, this is my last rep. I feel good though. Like nothing, no taxing on the body. But neurologically, I fired like crazy because I was like thinking about my lats and my erectors and biceps. Even got a little pump right now. So do a couple more sets here and probably be done with back entirely. Maybe go on to, now that I don't have to actually lift the weight, so we've circumvented all hard work. I'm just gonna mental rep everything in the gym and just grow like crazy. Like, cause you don't have to work hard as long as you do mental gymnastics and work your way around things, right? So we'll do another set. Actually, let me put the weight up now. I'm gonna do this whole stack. 8 to 12 mental reps. I think I'm gonna throw up. That's enough for back, that was a lot. I mean, keeping in the theme of ice baths and bullshit, we'll do some mental reps on chest now. On the other machine, I put the weight up to like the full stack, but I don't even need to do that because if I think that I'm lifting heavier weight, I can trick my body into believing I'm lifting heavier weight. So I'm not even gonna put this down where it should because I'm just gonna connect to the handles and then send the sensation through my body and then I'll be good. So here's another set. Went for a few more there. Let's go. Yeah. Fuck. I don't think my chest has ever been this pumped. Here's the point, guys. If we think we're working hard, we are. No matter how much you're doing. You could be doing nothing. But if you think you're working hard and you convince yourself that it's hard work, don't worry. You're growing. You're getting better, you're getting leaner, you're getting stronger. Like the other day I came in here and I was gonna do cardio, but I just stared at the treadmill for a half hour. And I thought about walking. And by the time I stopped staring at the treadmill, I was exhausted. I just went home. Yeah, I was sprinting on the thing. I was full tilt sprinting in my mind. And I looked at my Apple Watch and I had burned 5,000 calories. Yeah, I was like, whoa, time to go home.
Look at your chest, your chest band, your ring.
You know, these people like concerned about how many steps they get in a day. Just mentally get as many steps as you want. 15,000. Boom. Boom. 15,000. Fucking shredded. No, but that leads me into I don't give a fuck. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. So
Cut that.
there's literally people in this world and in this industry, in the world too, like could cross into other professions. I'm sure it does. I know for a fact, where it's like these people they're giving themselves accreditations and they're not accredited. So like, for instance, I took an economics class in university, one singular class that I cheated to pass and I barely went to, and I passed it. So I can't then turn around and say that I have a history in economics and I understand economics. I also couldn't go and teach it. I also couldn't like claim to be have a PhD in economics because I took one class. So like when people start listing their accreditations based on like they have a history of knowing about a subject in like a little tiny glimpse, that doesn't make you qualified to teach people or help people or do anything in that space. You can't do that, right? Like I don't know if people understand that, but you can't do that. Like you can't advertise your services as being something because you have this little glimpse of knowledge about it, right? So like I played basketball when I was in like 7th through like 9th grade. I played a lot of basketball. So I played 4 years or whatever, however many years you want to figure it out to be, of basketball. I can't then turn around when I'm 45 and say, yeah, background in basketball, you should probably fix your jump shot and I know all the ins and outs. It's like, no, you can't do that. And people are doing that. That's a real thing. I'm not making that up. And I'm sure like people out there, like, cause they don't want to call people out doing it because they're just like, oh, I don't want to get involved. But like, that's what's wrong with this industry. That's what's wrong with this world, is that there's people who are professionals or claim to be accredited or claim to be like knowledgeable with a subject. They know nothing about it. They have a glimpse of knowledge about it. And they're passing themselves off as experts. Like anybody you see that claims that they're like a lifestyle coach, like we've talked about before, or a wellness expert, or like a fucking anything to do with this, an ambiguous term that can't be defined, like motivational achievement professor or something. Like they make up a fucking accreditation as to what I am. That person is full of shit and you need to run from them. And there's a handful of them in this industry. There's a handful of them like within a 100-kilometer radius of me right now that have duped people for years and have people coming to their practices and like fucking rubbing crystals on their foreheads or fucking giving them an injection of this or that because this is going to make your and they're not supposed to do that. You don't have any background in that, right? And these highly impressionable people, because sadly in bodybuilding there's highly impressionable people because there's a shit ton of really insecure people in this sport. That's why they stare in the mirror all the time. So they take 20 selfies a day in public. It's not because of confidence. That's not confidence. I hate to break it to everybody. That's insecurity and seeking acceptance, right? So like these weak-minded individuals will glom on to a person that they feel is a strong-minded individual. And they'll be like, yes, that's what I feel. What you tell me to feel is what I feel. I'm fucking stupid as shit. It's like, the nonsense needs to stop, man. It's like, the madness needs to end. All these people, like, I don't want to give examples because people are gonna fucking cry about it and get me fucking banned and whatever, but it's like, there's people out there that are looking to like, they're so desperate for someone to give them some sense of order or belonging in their life, they'll literally get with anybody that can give them that. And if you looked at that person's background, they have no business doing that. They also have no understanding of who you are or what you've been through or have been through any adversity themselves. They're just doing what they think you want to hear, which is bullshit. That's not a psychiatrist, that's not a psychologist, that's not any type of therapist. That's not what it is. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking mind-blowing to me. I saw a glaring example of it the other day of someone claiming to be something they are not. And like, they're not recognized under any board. They're not recognized under any certification. They've never been shown to be accredited for that. And I was like, this is fucking crazy. Someone should call these people out. Like they should literally call them out in public and shame them. Because if I did that, I'd expect someone to call me out. like assholes out there that call themselves glute experts. One particular asshole, and I can think about off the top of my head, who pretends to be a glute expert. Just because you know how the glute works and the anatomy of the glute and all that stuff, and your exercises are fine. There's nothing wrong with them, but they're not like, it doesn't make you an expert. You're not an expert. There's no expert certification for training your ass. You can't go to the University of fucking Connecticut and get a fucking degree in ass training. And you can't do your undergrad at Connecticut and then move on to Stanford and get your master's in fucking gluteology. Like, get the fuck out of here. Stop saying that. Stop saying you're an expert on something when you're not. You can't give yourself the title of expert. You have to get someone else or an authority figure or a governing body to assign you that title. You don't just become it. And that's what's happening in this fitness world. This fitness world is literally, it's a make-believe world where anybody can do anything they want. There's no one calling people out. There's no one checking on people. It's crazy. It's fucking insane. Like, I could lie to you guys and tell you I'm a doctor of chiropractic. Or I could say I'm like a fucking osteopath.
Yeah.
And I could use like a fake name. Or like use fucking my middle name as my name. And you could never look me up. You could never figure me out, right? Like, I don't know if anyone, like, I don't know if everyone's just like, oh, let people be, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, it's time to start telling people they're stupid. And it's time to start telling people they're fucked up. So they stop their behavior and move on and become regular people and actually have a good impact on society. Like, stop wasting your time trying to be a phony fraud. Go do something real. It's okay. It's gonna be all right in life. Like, you can just be a good brother, mother, sister, father, husband, whatever. That can be what you're good at. You don't have to like, oh, I'm nothing. I need to make something up. Like, what are we today? Am I a psychologist? Yeah, I'm a psychologist. Sports psychologist.
That's what you're doing?
Professor of recognizing bullshit is what I am. I have a fucking degree in that.